Hello, hello, hello! Everybody, welcome to Dev Stream number 10 for RivenWorld. If someone in chat just could let me know how the audio volume is. Renee, talk real quick for the wonderful
Hello.
people. And we'll jump right into it here momentarily. Okay, so while I wait for someone just to verify the audio levels, I guess I'll jump into just sort of a recap of this last beta weekend, and then we'll talk about what's to come for RivenWorld. So first off, this past beta weekend was actually a huge success in our eyes. We had, I believe, about 45 to 50 people connect to the server and try out RivenWorld to test it. We got some great feedback about the building, about combat, about just the overall gameplay. And we mainly were using Beta 2 to iron out all the bugs that were discovered during Beta 1. Mainly the overhaul of the inventory system. We wanted to make sure the inventory system got its legs stretched, per se. So that was the focus of Beta 2, and we completed that Sunday night at midnight, and now we've entered a mode of getting ready for an open beta, and the open beta is going to be testing mainly combat and all the other gameplay mechanics. So hunting, combat systems, base raiding, all that stuff is being tested during the open beta, which is going to be happening in, I believe, 2 weeks. So it's going to be happening it's going to start the end of the month, so on the 31st of this month, and then it's going to go through that Sunday at midnight. We're going to finish our open beta. You can sign up for the open beta by going to our Steam page and clicking to join the playtest. So sign up for the playtest. That will get you access to the open beta. You don't need to pre-sign up. You could actually go right when we start the open beta and get access to the game through there. And it's going to be open, so anybody can sign up for open beta. So that's number one. Let me lower myself a little bit. There you go. Okay, so that's number one. And after we finish the open beta, we're actually going to be going back into a sort of a bug fixing mode, and then we're going to be prepping for early access release on Steam, so everyone can get a copy of RivenWorld. The price that we're setting for RivenWorld at early access launch is going to be $19.99, I believe. Steam doesn't like round numbers. They only let you pick like $19.99, $14.99, $24.99. So we're going to be launching at $19.99, and that's going to be coming up here in April. A release date is going to be released near the open beta, so we have a feel for it, and we're going to be setting a release date and pushing forward with that. Thank you, Dakota. We are excited that you are excited for this game. We're actually super pumped to get everyone's feedback on it and also see what everyone does within the world. And with that, I'll go ahead and join up on our server, and basically tonight we're just going to be playing, running around. With me is Renee, and we're just going to be having fun. If anyone has any questions, ask the questions. Just ask as many questions as you want in chat. We will address them all. These streams are to answer questions, but also give you guys a taste for the gameplay. So like right now, the world is loading, and we may see some stuff pop up on my screen here as it loads in all the chunks. So that's one of the big changes we made from Beta 1 to Beta 2 is the render distance. So during Beta 1, render distance was things only appeared when you got very close to them. And for Beta 2, we actually increased render distance to where you can see all your buildings from a distance, and we implemented a network level of detail. So as you move around the world, certain objects will unload and load to optimize the actual game itself. But your building blocks are always present in the world. So if you build a massive castle on like a cliff face, you're going to see it from a distance, and I think that's super cool. And Some other things that changed from Beta 1 to Beta 2, of course, is the inventory system. We'll see that here shortly once we get loaded in. And then past that, we did a lot of refinement, a lot of tweaking. We're actually in the process right now of adding in a lot of the oh goodness, lost my train of thought there. We're adding in actually our own soundtrack. So all the music you're hearing right now in the game is actually 100% made for RivenWorld. And we're actually in the process of adding more to that soundtrack and adding, I think we're going to have a total of 5 to 6 songs when finished. And we're hoping to blend them in and out. When you enter combat, it's going to be a different style of song, walking around, nighttime, during the day. So we're really, over the next, going into open beta, we're really focusing on the rating mechanism, but also the immersion inside the RivenWorld world. With that, this past week we've been working very hard on getting woo! Let's see if I can correct my character here real quick. He is a little tilted. I was on the server earlier and I was flying around and I think I logged off flying, so he tilted. So let me see if I can get the spawn to work so I can respawn. Okay. Let's see here.
Where did you spawn?
I was over by the lake.
Oh, okay. I'm on my way.
Oh, you're running around?
Yeah. Last time I left at the little castle that's like on the side, not the big one.
Okay, Dakota, how can someone be a part of the open beta? So it's actually going to be a public Steam playtest. It's going to be on our store page. You can go check and see if it's up there. We did submit it for review for Steam. It should have like a join playtest button. If you click that, that is going to be the how to sign up for open beta. Of course, if it's not there yet, it will be in the coming days, or it will be there. It'll definitely be there when the open beta starts. But you should be able to go to the Steam store page, click participate in the open beta, and get access to it. So it is going to be open. We're not doing, I know some people do playtests to where you like progressively let more players in and stuff like that. We aren't doing that, so we are going to give access to anyone that signs up for the weekend. And it's really what we're hoping to get out of it is a stress test, number 1. And number 2 is going to be the, man, my dude is like, it's like permanently tilted. Look at that. So we're going to be giving everyone access to the open beta because we really do want to test everything. So that is the goal, is to test the networking, to test the just the overall system of RivenWorld before we give access to before we put it into early access. Woo! Okay, I just respawned. Okay, Gabriella asked on Facebook, are you adding aggressive animals like bears or wolves? Yes. So we are going to be adding in aggressive animals, along with, of course, passive ones. So you can expect to see deer, rabbits, wolves, foxes, and bears. All of them varying on different levels of aggression. Look at that sunset. Like, I know I say this every single stream, but I'm still consistently blown away by the environment. So the idea is to, let me see. The idea is to, whatchamacallit, Lost my train of thought. Oh, animals. Sorry, I was setting the time today. So the overall idea is to give varying levels of difficulty with the animals. And as you can see here, here's the inventory screen. So this is the new overhauled inventory screen. We're super excited about it. We're still ironing out some of the finer details here and there regarding the inventory. But we have the inventory grid, so you can click and drag things. You can actually middle click and split a stack, inspired by Minecraft. No shame there. You have all the crafting recipes that we can craft within this inventory. The skills pane is going to be coming during early access, so you're actually going to be leveling up things like woodcutting, hunting, forging, so you can level up. And a lot of that inspiration is coming from RuneScape. So you're going to be able to level up, and the levels are going to apply to things differently. One of the big things is going to be creating higher quality items. So for instance, if I level up, so like whenever I used to play RuneScape, it was always cool that, you know, you would like become the expert at cooking. And we're taking the same approach, so you can level up cooking, and then you could make like high grade meals and either sell them in the server that you're on, or, you know, assist your clan or stuff like that. So that is the goal with the leveling system. And then up here as well, you have a guild, so we could create a guild right now and add Renee to it. And then you also have the kingdom. So the kingdom is the king has the ability to set tax rate. So it's actually not a percentage. We need to remove that, but it's 60 energy per 30 minutes. So it's a rather aggressive tax rate. And then based off that, your land claim actually consumes based off that tax rate. Now, the difference with some of the other games that we've based RivenWorld off of is the tax actually, instead of taking like 50 or 60% of all the resources you gather, it actually is strictly tied to the resources you contribute to your land claim. So like, let's say my land claim is running low, I can dump 5 gold bars in there and get a larger energy into my land claim. The items that I actually put into my land claim go straight to the king. So the king can effectively do whatever he wants. He can he can just collect items. So if you really hate the king and he has a high tax rate, then the king needs, you need to overthrow him, because no one wants to pay 60 energy per 30 minutes. Because you're going to have to be feeding your claim more consistently than you would to do anything else. Okay. Let's see. So Renee, I'm going to run over to... There's a really cool overhang that I found during the beta that I think we should build a castle or something on.
On my way. I don't know where you're going.
Well, it overlooks the valley between the mountain and the monastery.
Okay, I think I kind of know.
Yeah, it's on the main mountain. Jump in. So yeah, right before we closed out Beta 2, we actually we slowed down the water and food consumption, actually quite aggressively. So we're going to be also tweaking those prior to the open beta. So you actually have to worry about survival right now. It's a little, it's not as aggressive as it probably should be. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. I'd made a wrong turn. Oh my god, I gotta go all the way back. Okay, well, we're gonna run over here. Okay, Mike on Facebook asks, will the king have to hold a certain place in the world, or will they be able to build their own home while they rule? So great question. So I'll actually run up to the castle right now just to show you. But while I answer that question, while I run, I'll answer that question. So the king has to maintain the claim on the throne. So there is a central castle that's been pre-designed in the worlds that the king is the owner of. But they're free, just like anyone else, to establish their real castle anywhere else. So, you know, if you just wanted to claim the throne and then put a castle on another hilltop, or maybe you call it your vacation castle, or your, you know, your, what would they call it back then? Like the winter castle or your summer castle. So that's where they're able to claim land as much as anybody else, but they do have to feed the claims that they create. So basically, they're paying themselves tax, but it's just a chore at that point. And it sort of goes into the whole. And there's the castle right there. Whew, I thought I heard footsteps. Oh, it was my footsteps. Whoops! It scared me for a second. So, the king will have to hold the throne itself, but like I said, they can go off and claim whatever land they want, and we're sort of leaving it up to the servers. So if you want to do like a roleplay server, then the people on that server or the owner can be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it to where they can go wherever they want, or whatever. So here's one of the houses that someone built during the last closed beta. Let's see, I don't think the doors are open. Is the door open? Okay, the bottom story is open. It is getting dark. That's something else that we are adding in before open beta, is a torch that you can hold. That's something that we necessarily didn't do for this last closed beta, and the world does get very dark, but only during the transitions of day and night, it seems. So, like, see, the moonlight helps a lot, but until the moon comes up over the mountain range, then you really can't see all that much. But we did add volumetric fog to the world, and also see the fog with the light, like how cool these rays are. And I know some people were requesting during the beta that we have a remove HUD button, so you guys can take screenshots and stuff of the world and everything around RivenWorld. So we are going to be adding in a remove HUD button that you can push, and it will make the whole player HUD disappear, so you can take screenshots or whatever without having the nasty inventory in the way. Okay, so we're coming up on the castle here. I'll show you guys some more of the buildings that got built during the last closed beta. So there's one. I think his username was, oh goodness, I don't want to missay his username. Is the guy that was the king. So he claimed all this up here, and this was his, like, I guess resident or workshop. And then he actually, though, was the king. So inside these walls is the actual throne and the actual castle. And oh, look at that, he has it open. Okay, so you can see in here, like, ooh, who's that?
Hello.
Ah, there's a Renee. Okay, his bottom half of his body is missing. That is a bug that popped up actually today when we got ready for the stream. It so happens if you spawn into the world and start moving right away, the legs disappear, which is sort of funny, but yeah, we're going to be fixing that in the coming week. So here's the castle. Is someone standing there? Oh, goodness. Mm-hmm. Is it? Oh, it's Tarkus, the king. He's sitting at the throne. Okay, Renee, we gotta leave before he tries to kill us.
Angry.
Yeah, all of our floating bodies. Oh, that's funny. Now, we did do this tower, super cool. Here, let me run up here. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, I forgot the stairs are a little glitched. I don't know what happened with the stairs. Need to figure out what happened with the stairs. But I can hop up them, I think. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, like right now, Tarkus is the king on the server, and he has set the tax rate to 60. So yeah, if that ever happens when we're in open beta or when the game's released, then everyone can just mow the king down. And uh-oh,
I heard that.
is he changing the tax rate? He must be changing the tax rate.
Yep. Hey, well done.
Yay! Okay, let me finish hopping up here. We can show you guys the... Oh. Yeah, it's weird. All the collisions got messed up. Okay, well, there is a balcony out there. We will try to figure out what's wrong with the collisions of the tower. Is probably during... I'm trying to think. It's probably during the LOD fix that we had. So the castle was making some frames drop, so mid-beta we actually pushed a patch to lower the polygons on the castle. So I'd probably just need to put the tower back to how it was, and then it'll all be fixed. Doop, doop, doop.
It's a massive tower.
Yes. Yeah, it's a massive tower. And I saw Melly's. So Melly's our 3D artist. She was actually working on a prison tower. So we are working on like different capture mechanisms before we go into early access. And we're also going to be adding voice chat to the game. So proximity voice and capture mechanisms. So the current idea we have is you could take a wooden club or a blunt weapon, strike someone, and it'll knock them out. So we're going to add in a knockout instead of just immediate death. And then with that knockout, you're going to be able to tie them up and take them. And you could put them in your jail cell, you could put them in a stockade, you could really just do whatever you want with them. So that's the idea, to add a little bit more roleplay to the game, and then also just some cool and funny moments. That, yeah, you can see we added some more resource nodes. So like we have fiber here, we have a gold node here. So we really did a huge overhaul prior to this last beta. And so far it has been very cool to see everyone interact with everything. I'm going to relog real quick and see if I can fix... So I did notice the network's running a little slow. Is that just me, Renee, or is that you too?
Nope, that is me too.
That's you?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's me too, I'm getting it.
Okay, so like things are delayed. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, here, I'm gonna restart the server and see if this helps. There we go. Okay, we're restarting the server, because even my Linux console's laggy. Very interesting. So I don't even think it was like RivenWorld itself. It may just be the server needed a swift kick in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if that fixes it. Okay. That seems to be doing a bit better. So I want to show people building. Let's here.
Relogging.
I don't think it's relogging. That's the issue. Like the
Yeah.
whole Linux terminal is real laggy, and it's not like the RAM or CPU. So, very interesting. Well, what we can do is let me set up another server real quick, and we'll just jump in there. See that one? Yeah, this will work. So I guess while we wait, everyone can. If anyone has any questions while I set up the second server, then fire away in one of the chats, and we'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, no apologies for the delay in showing you guys some of this stuff. It's the network on one of our servers is not having a good day.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. It's just tired. It's tired. It wants to go to bed. Now let's see here. Let us see. Let's Okay. Let's see here. It is awfully quiet without the background of the game.
We'll start singing to you.
Yeah, or just start talking, Renee.
Yeah, I rarely talk.
See. Okay. Let's copy that. Okay, so there we go. It is installing a new server for us, and we will be off and running shortly. So I guess while we wait for that to set up, I'll just go into just some more information about what we're working on this upcoming week, what you guys are going to see next dev stream. So next dev stream, we are aiming to have a lot of the stuff done to where we're going to be able to show you guys the full game prior to open beta. And what's left on our list is actually not that much as far as what we're aiming to get to for early access release. So one of the big things is going to be animals, of course. So that's like number one thing that we're working on right now is animals. Also adding in all the combat elements. So we actually have a bow and arrow working, or partially working right now. A crossbow is going to be getting added in here shortly. Two-handed weapon, one-handed weapons, and spears. On top of all that, we also are going to be adding in all the different armors. We actually, our graphic artist has imported, I think it's like what did she say, Renee? There's like 300 armor, pieces of armor, different styles, textures, looks. So all that's going to be going in. You're going to be able to go to a loom and use raw materials to craft armor. And then with that armor, it'll have different defense points. Okay, Melissa on YouTube said, what other assets are going to be added? Like a jail. Yes. So we actually are going to be adding in a jail and stuff like that. So you're going to be able to jail your captors, put them in a cell, and they could starve to death, or you could just take them out and show them around to your base or whatever you want to do. And Don asked on Facebook, is the game hosted on GameFocal? Yes, it is. So if anyone didn't know, GameFocal is actually a server hosting company. So we are hosting like our closed beta server right now on our own platform. And that's where we've been doing a lot of this testing, is through the GameFocal platform, which allows you to basically deploy servers and swap between the different games you want to play and stuff like that. And then so it is hosted on GameFocal. For some reason, the network is acting finicky right now. So I'm trying to look at that while I'm talking with you guys and answering questions. So Tarkus asked armor racks so you can showcase your armor. That would be actually pretty cool. Like an armor rack, you could put like your armor on it and then show it off, or you could even use it to like maybe like practice, so like a target dummy type thing. Because I know in Life is Feudal they had armor racks to where you could hang your armor. So it was sort of like a chest, but it was also just something where you could show off what armor you had. So the king on the server would like have this huge line of armor racks that that he could pick from.
No, that's not a bad idea. Put it on the board.
Yeah, Tarkus just said a target dummy with armor slots. That'd be pretty cool, and it'd be cool if you could actually destroy the armor as well. And you know, I guess this is a good time also to mention to everybody that the roadmap is going to be coming out shortly. So we are working on a roadmap, and the roadmap's going to lay out, of course, open beta, early access release, then what are the updates we're going to be doing after early access. Because we really want to show people that we're not just dumping this on the store and running, or we're not dumping it on the store and saying, okay guys, enjoy, and not actively fixing bugs and also adding additional content. So we are aiming to do like different updates. So like some updates we've been throwing around for fun at the office have been like the underwater update. So ocean life, stuff like that. So like fishing and everything about fishing being added to the game. Another one would be like an underworld, to where like you could go in the mountain and under the ground and explore a like forgotten city deep within the island. Of course, other islands, of course, that you could travel to and unlock. We actually have an idea that like a progressive server quest line, to where the server progressively unlocks. So when you're donating things to shrines throughout the world, the more you donate, you unlock things. And as you unlock different things, you could unlock like a boat to go to a new island, or the underground city, or whatever. Okay, Tarkus said this way you could play Armor Smith and you can line up and showcase your goods. Yes, that's what Life is Feudal did, and it was actually very cool, because people literally would build out full shops and show off all their wares, and you could just walk up and see all this people's goods. Okay, let's see. My terminal is still acting weird, so I'm gonna go actually reboot the master node. See if that fixes it. Let's see. You guys are hearing my pop-up from Putty. If anyone has ever done Linux systems administration before, you should know that sound.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's sort of where we're heading, and also that's the roadmap is going to be coming out here shortly. You're going to be able to see it on Discord, but also on the Steam store page, and in the Steam discussion, and it's gonna line out for everybody when we're releasing, but also the content updates we're going to be making going into RivenWorld. And it is our goal to basically just continue to add content to this game to enrich the gameplay, and to make it more enjoyable to where people could do whatever they want inside of it. So if you want to make a medieval, I know I was talking with someone during the beta, and I mentioned the server plugin system, and the first thing they thought of was, oh my goodness, you could do like a Victorian era economy server, and that would be so much fun. And that's, yeah, someone definitely could do that. You could do an economy server, you could do a roleplay server, you could do a PvE server, you could do a building server, you could do a PvP server. Now, as far as our public servers, what we're going to be hosting, the public servers are mainly going to be focusing on just the vanilla game mode from at the beginning. So the vanilla game mode is going to be PvP, PvE mixed with Taking the Throne. And we're really wanting the community to build their own servers, to build their own plugins, and as the community builds up and people start saying, hey, I want an economy system, instead of us jamming an economy system into the core game, the idea is we're going to treat the game sort of as a sandbox like it is, and add plugins that add more to it. So there could be an economy plugin that adds the gold coins and a bank system to where servers could install that and have a full-blown economy system. Or there may be a marketplace plugin, or there could be an admin shop plugin to where you could buy building materials from an admin shop instead of having to gather them. So there's a lot of options and opportunity, and we're really, really, really excited to see what the community comes up with regarding that. Let's see if this fixed it. Okay, that seems to be better. We will see if that is the case. Sorry, I am typing server commands in real quick. Okay. I really need to do, I think it would be cool to do like a actual dev stream at some point. So like a stream to where like people can actually watch the development process of this whole thing. I think that'd actually be pretty cool. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. I just rebooted the master node, so we'll see if that did it. If not, then we'll just keep chatting and till we run out of questions. Okay, we are waiting for the server to load. So we did add this, so it does pause people from running into the world while the server loads. On first load, the server does copy a lot of the entity data into memory from the world file. So it is just so it's a little bit quicker, and we're not reading from the hard drive every 5 milliseconds. Oh, wait. Oh. Tarkus put up arrows. Sorry. That is so small. Let's see. When will we see mounts and carts? So that's a great question. So mounts and carts will probably come as an update to the game at a once we're out of, not out of, goodness, that's a bad word. Once we are releasing the early access, that should be coming as an update. So it's going to be just like a Mount Cart update. And we'll definitely put that into the roadmap. And then Tarkus also asked, this is for you, Renee, the king of building. Could you add a wooden fence model similar how you do your tables? Fencing would be cool.
That is for sure. The system's done, so you just need a 3D artist to make that.
Now, yeah, it would be cool. We could even do like a wicker fence, wood plank fence, like log wall even, because we could use because Unreal has the spline tool we could use.
Yes.
So we could just use the spline to render that out, because we necessarily don't even need to do a like massive like model system. So I think splines are just repetitive, right?
Believe so.
Okay.
Spiked fences.
Even spiked fences. If you try to jump over it, you start to bleed. Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting. He just answered what we just said. That'll do bleed damage. That's funny. So I need to remember next time, and Renee, you're gonna have to remind me, prior to the dev stream, for me to set up another server on another box, because for some reason, and I think this box, like I haven't gotten any flags yet from the data center, but it may be getting DOS to a degree, because like it's going up and down. So I think our firewall's catching traffic, but it's probably bottlenecking, if I had to guess, because our firewall's not built to, like, the software firewall sitting on the box isn't built for that much traffic.
All right.
Okay, let's see if this does any better. And if it's still delayed, I'll just run around so we got something to do. I think it's still slightly delayed. We'll see if it improves any. And if not, then ask any questions away in chat and enjoy the RivenWorld scenery. It's always funny, during these dev streams, we always find bugs, which is a good thing about it. It makes us, it sort of forces us to sit down and play for a little bit. So we have like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, because even after the stream, we'll sit here and play for, last week we did, 2 hours playing afterwards? Yep. So we'll actually sit here and play and just, build, do all this stuff, and we've been finding a lot of like heartache items of like, oh man, Tarkus said, check out the town to your left. Okay, let's go look. I think Tarkus built a lake town, so let's go. We could actually go explore that, because that's already, the world's already all loaded in, but for some reason the networking on the actual server is running a tad bit slow. Okay. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's cool. So yeah, there you go. Tarkus has been actively building in the server for quite a past 2 weeks, I think, something like that. Just helping us test and debug things, and he has put the server through the test of the century as far as building goes, and you can just see the amount of building you can do, and this is only the beginning of it. Like, you could build some massive towers, put some like big like Lord of the Ring level like walls and stuff. That's something that Renee, that I actually want to build. You know that Lord of the Ring castle that like backs up against the mountain?
Yes.
That would look, that is actually my favorite part of that whole movie is that. Okay, look at this. So we got like a, whoop. Oh no, the inventory of death popped up. Okay, so No, yeah, I really wanted. Tarka said lots of items missing from load. Yeah, it seems to be. Oh, there's exceptions! Yay!
Yay.
We discovered a bug. Very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that bug before. Huh. Well, we will fix that right after the stream. So let's see if the inventory goes away. If not, we'll end the stream here and we'll go fix all the bugs, and we'll be back next week with some more footage and show and tell items. Let's see here. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll actually end the stream here, guys, and then we're gonna go off and fix some of this stuff, because this if only I could show you here. Hang on, maybe I can. This will be a cool thing for everybody. There you go. So that's the server right now. So it's scrolling null pointer exceptions. So now it is time to go what I call a game, hunt the null pointer, and try to figure out what is causing the null pointer to happen. So with that, everyone, thank you for tuning in for Dev Stream number 10. Like we say a lot, we like to keep it real with you guys. That's why we do these streams. You see the unedited, unaltered version of RivenWorld and the development process. And, oh, there's all your chairs. It's just, I think the server's having a null pointer heart attack right now. And it can't, it's like delayed and spawning everything with that null pointer heart attack. So we're going to go do open heart surgery and fix the heart attack victim. And we will see you guys next week for the next dev stream. Next week you will be seeing basically what you're going to see during the open beta. And going back to all that, open beta is going to be at the end of this month. And with that as well, we are going to be releasing a roadmap as we get closer to open beta, which will include a release date and the milestones and or content updates that are be coming out after early access release. And we just, yeah, if you have any questions, ask in Discord or on the Steam community forums. And we are looking forward to seeing you guys all at open beta.